friends, welcome to my channel Learn to Sign with Joanna until you become a professional. As mentioned in my previous video of basic signs, today we will be learning grammar, sign language grammar. Now, here's a fact. Sign language, yes, it does have a grammar, and second fact is that this grammar is universally applied, which means whether you learned American Sign Language, British Sign Language, Portugal Sign Language, or any sign language around the world, you can use this grammar structure to make your sign sentences. Now, understandably, the word grammar can be very intimidating. I feel it too. It's like grammar. Oh no. But this is going to be very simple and easy because it's just one single sentence structure. All you need to know is to place each word or sign in the right place to make your sentence so that your sentences make sense. It's like, for example, in English, if you were to learn English for the first time and you just knew a handful of words, you placed it anyhow, would that sentence make any sense? No, it will just be gibberish and nobody will understand you. So you need to know at least this much as to where you should place each word. So now let's have a look at that sentence structure. This is the basic grammar or sentence structure that we use for sign language. As you can see here in this picture, it's only in the beginning that you might need to practice how to form your sentences, but you don't need to strictly follow it for every sentence, in the sense that it's difficult to think about the structure every time you have to make that sentence. But if you make it a point to practice it now, then it'll just come to you naturally. So now let's have a look at each of the elements in this sentence structure or framework. So first we have time. Time includes words like past, present, future, yesterday, tomorrow, the actual time like 8 a.m., 12 a.m. Anything related to time, they put first. Then we have place. Place would be the specific location. That comes second. And now we have passive person. Passive person in a sentence is the one that is idle and is not involved in any action. For example, if Randy spoke with Sheldon, so Sheldon is not doing anything in the sentence, whereas Randy is the one who's speaking. So Sheldon will be passive. So as you can see in the picture, the person, the drawing, he's just standing there. This is followed with adjective. Adjective is the word that describes the passive person in this sentence. Then we have active person. Active person obviously in the previous sentence was Randy because he was speaking with Sheldon. Now Randy was speaking. Speaking is an action verb. An active person is always followed by an action verb. And then we have an adverb. An adverb is what describes an action verb. For example, Randy was speaking slowly. Anything that describes how he was speaking, that's your adverb. Followed with the question. What was he speaking? How was he speaking? So all those questions comes at the end. Now remember, we are not doing grammar for English. We are doing grammar for sign language. So if you notice, the sentences that I used, they were English sentences because they were not structured in this order. Now let's have a look at an example. So we have this simple example. I asked her. So if you've noticed, I is the active person because I asked. Her is the passive person. As you remember in the previous slide, active person is the one who's doing something and passive is not doing anything. This is an English sentence. Let's see how this is formed in sign language. Did you notice? It becomes her, I asked. Why? Because passive in sign language comes first, and then the active. Let's go back. See, time, place, passive, and then active. Let's put it in place. Passive is her, I asked. Now, wasn't that interesting? Her, I asked. So, for example, she is here. In sign language, we tend to think in pictures. So, we imagine that this is the person I'm referring to. Hi. So, this is the person I'm referring to, and I say, her, I asked. Or ask. This is like a question mark, index finger of right hand, asked, or index finger and thumb, like a whistle, asked. Okay. Let's have a look at the next sentence. Now let's have a look at a longer sentence. Why do we have to go to work late tomorrow? So how will you use the grammar structure or the sentence structure? How will you reframe it into sign language? I'll give you a moment to think about it and try it out for yourself. And I'm very sure that you can do it. So let's see. This is your time now. Great, you did a great job there. Now, let's do it together, shall we? Now, first is time. Do we see time here? Anything, any word that indicates time? That's right. It is tomorrow. Great job. So let's write tomorrow here. So tomorrow. And then we have place. Now where do we have to go? We have to go to work. Yes, that is our place. We go to work. Next is passive person. A passive person, let's see, who all are present in this sentence? There's only we. Is there anybody else? No. Is we a passive person? Well, it seems that we is going somewhere. So clearly it's not passive, which means we don't have a passive person in this sentence. Let's move to an adjective now. Since there's no passive person, there is no adjective describing the passive person. We go straight to an active person. Who is doing something is there? That's right, we have we. We is going to work. Active person is we. After that, we have the action verb. Now, what is the action verb? That's right, it is to go to work. But in sign language, in this particular sentence, we do not use signs for to, no sign for have. And why is that? Because have is used more as an, let's say I have a pen. It's I have means it's with me, I have it. But in this case, we have to go to work, not used. To, not used. Okay? So active person is we. Action verb will be go. Then we have an adverb that describes the action to go. Let's see. It seems that we are going late. So go is described as late. So we have to go late. Late is our adverb. Question. What is the question asked? How, where, what? You're right. This is why. So we have to go to work late. Why? Let's make it sure. Perfect. Doesn't it look smaller because we do not have so many words that we don't need? Like we don't have do, have, to in this sign language sentence. Sign language is very brief, to the point, crisp. So our sentence is tomorrow, work, we go late. Why? It's clearer and makes sense. Now let's get back to our video. So we saw the sentence structure and how it takes care of all the important information that you need to convey to your listener. Now, in sign language, always try and think in pictures. That will make it so easy to form your sentences. So even if you forget the structure, but if you're thinking in pictures and then signing, it will make your life easy. For example, if you wanted a glass of cold water from the fridge, how will you sign that? Will you say, "Can you bring me a glass of cold water from the fridge?" That's confusing. If you saw me sign all of that, it was like me translating each word of English into sign and then saying it. And that's like a bunch of signs together, which doesn't make sense. Now let's see how you're going to say it in sign. It's as simple as you see, what do you see first? You see the fridge. So you say fridge, that is cold and door. So fridge, water, drink. Isn't that simple? So from a long complicated English sentence, we condensed it or made it small into the point. And if you go to see, doing sign language in this way is going to help you being as to the point as possible when communicating with normal hearing people in any language that we speak. Because we are learning how to remove unnecessary words and make it short. Let's take another example. Can you bring my watch from the table? If I was to say table, watch, sorry, if I was to say my watch, bring table. So what do you think about it? It would be, okay, it's your watch, but you want the table? No, that doesn't make any sense. So we need, if you put these signs in the order as mentioned in the structure, let's see how clear it gets. So first is place, and we have the thing or the object that is the watch. So where is the watch? Watch is on the table. What does the deaf need to see first? The deaf first needs to see the table, and then on that is my watch. And what does he need to do with it? He needs to bring it. So table, my watch, bring. So construct sentences, thinking in pictures, thinking in what the deaf needs to see first, do first, and then put it in order. Thank you for enjoying this lesson on grammar. And to make you feel good, this is the first, last, and the only section that we are going to do on grammar. All you need to do is practice the sentence structure, learn how to take English sentences and put them in sign language order, and practice that. So practice. Take your palm and like your fist with the thumb jutting out, right hand on top of left hand. So in my next video, I will be creating a video on thinking in pictures and creating your stage, on how you can think in pictures, and that will make you able to sign better, and second, how you can place people in the right position, in the right place on your stage while relating a incident. More on it in the next video, and I will also try and sign more while I speak so that you can catch some signs and words and learn fast. Until the next time.